Introduction to the Old Testament. The Old Testament is the first section of the Christian Bible, which is primarily based upon the Hebrew Bible, a collection of religious writings by ancient Israelites. It is a fundamental piece of both Christian and Jewish sacred texts. However, it should be noted that the canon, order, and names of books can vary between different Christian denominations and between Christianity and Judaism. For Jews, this collection is referred to as the Tanakh or Hebrew Bible, and it forms their entire scriptural canon. The Old Testament is written in Hebrew, with a few portions in Aramaic, and it lays the foundation for the teachings, prophecies, history, and laws that are referenced in the New Testament. The composition and structure. The Old Testament is traditionally divided into four main parts: the Pentateuch, also known as the Torah or Law, the historical books, the Poetic or Wisdom books, and the Prophetic Books. The Pentateuch includes the first 5 books, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, which are attributed to Moses and contain the creation narrative, the story of the patriarchs, the exodus from Egypt, the establishment of the Mosaic Law, and the wanderings in the desert. The historical books, such as Joshua, Judges, Samuel, and Kings, chronicle the history of the Israelites from entering the Promised Land to the Babylonian exile. The Poetic Books, which include Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Solomon, contain a mixture of prayers, philosophical discourses, and literature. Lastly, the Prophetic Books, including Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and the 12 minor prophets, feature prophecies and messages from God delivered through His messengers. Themes and contents. The Old Testament addresses a wide array of themes that are essential in understanding both Christianity and Judaism: creation, fall, redemption, covenant, law, worship, and prophecy. It provides moral guidelines and laws for ethical behavior, explains the origins of humankind, and provides genealogies that link the ancient peoples with the Israelite nation. The narrative portrays God as the sovereign creator and judge of the world, providing a foundational understanding of monotheism. Furthermore, it contains numerous prophecies and foreshadowings considered by Christians to be predictions of the coming of Jesus Christ. Historical and religious significance. Historically, the Old Testament represents an invaluable source of information on the culture, beliefs, and practices of the ancient Near East. Many of the events and figures within these texts have shaped societal norms and law, with the 10 Commandments being a prominent example. Religiously, the Old Testament is regarded as divinely inspired scripture, offering guidance, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of God's nature and interactions with humanity. It forms the basis for moral and ethical decision-making for millions of believers around the world. The Old Testament today. In contemporary society, the Old Testament still plays a vital role in theological education, liturgical practices, and the personal faith journeys of adherents. It challenges readers with its complexity, diversity of genres, and ancient context, while continuing to be a subject for interpretation, debate, and reflection. Moreover, the Old Testament has made a lasting impact on literature, art, and music, influencing countless works throughout the centuries. Conclusion. The Old Testament is a compilation of texts foundational to both Judaism and Christianity, with a reach that extends far beyond its religious roots into Western culture and ethics. It provides accounts of primordial history, laws, moral standards, poetry, and prophecies that have been crucial to shaping the human understanding of divinity and human existence. Its complexity and depth ensure that it remains a central object of study, both for the faithful and for those interested in the ancient world, literary traditions, and the history of ideas.